Hi, it's Kat Carasello. This is A Mythopoetic Life, and we are talking about a new topic today. I want to invite you to ask where and how you're hard on yourself, where and how you judge yourself, where and how you feel stuck or in pain, or pushed to the wall and trapped by circumstance, and where and how you turn on yourself like a feral cat who feels cornered, and you strike back, and you blame, you point fingers. There are times when we don't quite know what to do with ourselves because we feel cornered. When and where do you feel cornered? And how do you make more space in the corner? Or do you just tuck yourself in and shrink? You probably do both at different times. And there are times I feel cornered and I shrink. I hide in the shadow and I feel the fullness of the shadow story that is that reality of being cornered and in the corner, both and. And I feel overwhelmed by the feelings and the emotions of being cornered by circumstance, being stuck in the corner. You know, the movie Dirty Dancing, don't put baby in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. You know, we all look for the rescuer. We all look for that person who will stand up for us and take us out of the corner and pull us out of the corner. We look for that savior, that, white knight or that friend or that situation or that check in the mail that will create ease. We want ease. We want comfort. We don't want to be cornered. And that's part of the story, is what we want and what we don't want. So there's the reality of a moment and the feelings that will show up that will activate and energize our fears and our pain pathways that will bring forth the trauma that we've experienced at another time in our life or the story that we've held deep inside our soul about who we are and what we get, what we don't have access to, where our fears are held. And so we dance this dance of being human all of the time. And it requires so much self work to actually understand that we save ourselves every minute, every day, in every way. There's something that, I recognize from the inside out. I can share this because I know this and I've experienced it a million times, as you have. But when it's acute, when it's active, when you're feeling fear, when you're feeling cornered, when you're feeling estranged from possibility, when you're feeling that dark cloud raining over you, and you're feeling so pressured about what it is that you feel you need, that you know you want, how you are trying to get out of the corner that's been created, often by circumstance or situations. What do you do? what do you do? So one of the things I want to share is what I do and how I make space in the corner for the story, to be what it is, and also for the story to shift. Because everything in my world I have come to understand is a story. Everything that I experience, everything that I intuit, everything that I hold, that I have, every possibility, every circumstance, every part of my life, all the emotions, all the energies, all of the activations are stories. And I'm always swimming in my stories. That's just the nature of being human. And when stories happen to me and I feel that energy shift and I feel fear rise, I don't always have the capacity to create a different scenario for myself. And shifting the story doesn't mean immediate relief, but it does open a window. It does make more space in the corner. It expands my capacity to be aware and to be alive in my life. And I don't point fingers at myself when I make more space to allow the story to shift or allow that corner to make more space for me. One of the things that I do sometimes is create in bed. And last night I was creating in bed and I created this little card with this little magical frog, but underneath it was, and let's see if I can reveal what was underneath. I can't. I'm going to try to peel off. Okay, so I'm peeling off this magical frog. And underneath, you can just see just the edge of a little girl curled up and sitting in a corner under a dark moon in kind of a moody atmosphere. So you can't really see her anymore, but I want you to imagine, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel the energy of a small child curled up in a dank, dark, moody space. She's alone. There are a lot of shadows and shapes around her. She seems to be in rather a bleak landscape. What is she feeling? Look through the lens of your life and ask, what is she feeling? Who is she? Is she the little match girl looking in through the window, separated from family, not able to find warmth? Is she feeling pain, ashamed, sad, undone, lonely? What does she feel she needs in this moment to awaken, enliven, energize, activate a part of herself that doesn't feel that I have the right to be here? Sometimes that's what our shame says. That's what our stories tell us. So I was feeling her, this little girl last night, feeling her energy, sensing that she was feeling trapped, feeling lonely, feeling cornered, but that's not what I was seeing. I was seeing that dark sort of landscape and I was feeling the dark moon energy and just, ooh, what is this little girl needing? What could feed her story? What could shift her perspective? And this little magical frog came in and wanted to sit in the center of that murky, mucky stuff. And in fact, wanted to cover her over and shapeshift that little girl into the frog who could leap from lily pad to lily pad and create new energy in their world. This is not language I normally use. And I was thinking, how interesting this was to have this story surface. The little girl inside your life, the one who feels bereft or sad or bad, she needs a certain kind of magic. She needs to know that her power is not in the prince or not in the neighbor or not in the check in the mail. And no matter how old we are and where we live inside our life, what age and stage, we can feel the circumstance start to pinch, start to trap us, start to change our mind about who we are. And where that happens, what can we see that we hold that changes the story? So when I planted that frog on top of that little girl, I shifted the energy of what I knew or thought I was working with on behalf of the whole self. How can that magic frog shift your story? On behalf of all of our stories, how can you plant some magic or find an energy that supplants the message that is marginalizing your life? I'm not saying magic bullet or perfect scenario. I'm saying, how can you shift your story and assume something new is ready to happen? There's a great quote from Ben Okri. The most authentic thing about us is our capacity to create, our capacity to overcome, our capacity to endure, to transform, to love, and to be greater than our suffering. How can your art, how can your story plant a seed that grows? How can you make space to endure and to hold and to love beyond one of the stories? Where are you beating yourself up? Where are you pointing the finger? Where are you assuming that this is all you deserve? One of my favorite poems by Derek Walcott is Love After Love. Let's talk about what it feels like to meet yourself. Not point fingers, but actually meet yourself and greet yourself and make space for all of who you are, the fears and everything that shines inside your life, everything that is possible. Love after love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, stay, sit here and eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. You will give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from your bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror and sit and feast on your life. Greet yourself, arriving. The time will come when you, with elation, will fall back in love with you. I amended that poem because I'm making a point about how we beat ourselves up and how we blame, and how we point fingers, and how we get fearful and shrink. But where you see yourself, you can greet yourself. And where you know what you're feeling, you can find a way to make more space. The work that I do as a creative depth coach is about greeting yourself in the mirror and meeting yourself and loving yourself again. I want to invite you to make more space in the corner for whatever you're feeling, and to know that fears can shift, and stories are not single. They're not onlys. They're not the only energies that are available to you. If you are seeking more space in the corner, if you want to unpack some of the stories that are haunting you, come make an appointment with me. I'd love to actually connect and have some space for some coaching clients this summer. And I really want to put together a package for people that are feeling pressured by life. And so I've created a special summer coaching package just for you. And I'd love to connect around what you're feeling and what you noticed and what feels compelling about this message today. So I've opened up my calendar and I have a few spaces available. But if this message resonates, pay attention. Create the shape of the story and plant a new story into the space, and consider what it means to be your own savior, to do your own work, to create more space for depth and discovery and the possibilities of shifting energy, of pain to power. It's really about empowering your life. So I hope that you'll take me up on my offer and make an appointment with me today.